What a wicked web that we weave.
When you practice to deceive.
Oh, I was talking about lifting black hair to blonde without any toner.
Oh, yeah. That too, I guess.
Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie. Hell.
We in a hurry.
Okay.
Period.
Good morning, angels. I'm Nicky Nelson.
And I'm Mocha Pennington.
And this little dumpster fire you're about to watch is a little something that we like to call Tea Time.
A channel where we like to discuss YouTube drama in all its essence.
In all of its dirty little essence. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Because if you do, honey, an angel gets his wings.
You know, without being too cavalier regarding the obviously, terribly taxing emotions assigned to the creators who have been putting out these videos over the past couple of months. I'm just at a point where I'm just like, all right, guys, let's wrap it down. Let's wrap it down. Let's wrap it up. I mean, when these stories first broke, right, Emily Artful came forth and shared some pretty damaging information about her journey over the past, I'm gonna call it a decade.
It was like years, honey.
Years of just her tragic experiences with a creator that we had all known and grown to love.
Yes.
Named Creepshow Art, also known as Shannon.
Yeah.
When it first broke, the story literally had all the makings of just a really good story. It had intrigue, it had betrayal, it was this long, convoluted web, and it drew you in, right?
Yeah.
And since then, we've had a rebuttal from Creepshow Art, and now
6 months later, honey,
right?
Because she disappeared off the internet. She's like, "Oh no, honey, I need to lick my wounds and put something together, honey."
Right? And now we've got a rebuttal to the rebuttal by Emily Artful. And you know what? Without, being too cavalier, it's starting to turn into all the makings of a bad TED Talk, right? Heavy on the facts, light on the storytelling, and as long and downtrodden as we could possibly make it. I can hardly follow the damn thing anymore.
I mean, I can definitely understand why Emily did make a rebuttal. She didn't have to because, really no one believed Shannon.
Yeah.
No one really believed her.
Yeah.
But I guess she was like, "Oh no, honey, you lied on me." I can understand her, wanting to, no, I want to disprove all those lies, honey.
Mm-hmm.
I want to state my truth. I can understand that. Because
I definitely get the sense that for Emily, she's like, you know what? No, this is personal.
Yeah.
And after going through, a decade or more of all of this, I get it. Now, before we continue on with this story, on Tea Time, Mocha's looks is just as much as Tea Time as, the stories that we tell. And can we discuss the hair? Right?
It was meant to be blue, honey, but it came out green, so whatever.
But
we just gonna go with it.
I haven't met hair you couldn't wear yet. So there we go. Just another look. Let us know in the comment section below. Do you love it? What are you thinking? I mean, this is important. But also, Mocha's hair. Mocha's makeup is very much a part of this show. And I think that we wouldn't be doing due justice by not pointing out what's happening here,
Oh, thank you.
Listen, before we get too much into it, I have to say, just for the record, because y'all know, the internet does this thing where, people throw themselves behind one person and then we take the other individual down. And I guess that provides some sort of emotional stimulation for people. I would just like to say that, and Mocha, I don't want to speak for you, but I am not the kind of person who has to watch someone else fall from grace, who has to watch them totally swing for it to feel validated as an individual. That's just not my bag. That's not my brand. I would rather work out my issues in therapy than vilify another individual. So with that being said, a lot of what's come out between Creepshow and Emily is, hearsay, right? It is, here are the facts as they believe them to be true. We can't really, I wouldn't say that we could quantify any form of evidence as being anything more than circumstantial. There's been like some really intriguing points, but all of it, I think I could deduce to being like, how do we validate this, right? Like all of it is, well, if this is true, then this must be true and that must be true, which must mean this, which actually boils down to being not much of anything. But I'll tell you what, it is all interesting. And if I have to be perfectly honest, it points to Miss Creepshow Art not being on the right side of things.
I mean, like, if you like had doubt about Emily's like story in the first go around,
yeah,
I feel like Creepshow Art kind of just
blew up her own spot.
She just said, "I did it, y'all." Like that's her entire 2-hour video was her saying, "I did it." Everything that she said, I did. Like it just proved it, and it was such. That was like 6 months in the making.
Yeah,
and she just pretty much said guilty.
Yeah. Before we get into it, I think in summation, right? If it happens to be as bad for Creepshow Art, Shannon, as it looks from the outside, we don't want to tear you down. We don't want to say that you're an awful person. We don't want to bury you so that we somehow like feel better. Genuinely and honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, get some fucking help.
Yeah,
get some fucking help.
I think that she definitely does need to seek out therapy, and maybe because I feel like Anthony,
her boyfriend or
her husband, like I feel like he's something else. I feel like
has to be.
Like I was like those messages he was sending Emily.
Mm-hmm.
They were so
very cryptic, and
manipulative.
And
absolutely. Like kind of like trying to get like, honey, he seems like a toxic person. Like two toxic people together. And then we saw Ms. Rose and Fred West, honey.
You guys know how these stories always end. So
not implying that they're serial killers. I'm just saying. Two toxic people getting together, honey. It's not good.
Well, we haven't looked in the crawl spaces yet, so we can't rule it out.
It's been proven that they have been going after Emily for
quite some
for
time.
A very long time.
So you guys, Emily basically almost a year ago at this point really blew up Creepshow Art's spot. Creepshow Art had a pretty decent following. She was friends with
pristine reputation.
A pristine reputation. She was, if anyone was worth being friends with, she was absolutely friends with them.
Helped you out, supported, give shout outs to small creators
all the time. You know, we had come to. Shannon would show up to our lives and donate money, and you know, she really just felt like a good support system, and you know, somebody who we could be like, okay, she's a friendly, cool, nice face, and you don't always have an ace in the space, especially in the drama business. It's it could be kind of dog eat dog. So she was someone who we had come to consider, you know, a friendly face.
Yeah, somebody you can reach out to, ask advice,
anything.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, the beginning of the end started for Shannon, Miss Creepshow Art, when the creators over at LOCAL, or the group administrators over at LOCAL, really put out some damning evidence that she was over there kind of stirring the pot, creating fake accounts,
having conversations with
arguments with herself, posting anonymously. And I guess one of the rules over at LOCAL is if you're a fake, if you're a phony, they will expose you. I guess it's in the terms and agreement, whatever. We don't use LOCAL, but this is how it's been explained to us. On the heels of that charming expose by the administrators over at LOCAL, Emily Artful busts through with the story of how she has been tormented by Creepshow Art, aka Shannon, and her husband, Anthony, who happens to be Emily's ex-boyfriend for, I'm going to say, like 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, they were together for a minute, I feel like.
Emily came with what we're going to call the receipts, right? The best evidence that we have to go on. Emily kind of came with it, kind of proved her point the best that she could without saying, well, here's the bitch typing it right here. Like, this is absolutely it, right? I feel like she used the best that she had to prove her point. And just like that, you know, Creepshow Art kind of like dipped the scene, right?
She said, bye, honey.
She dipped the fuck out.
Yeah,
she told all of her friends not to defend her.
So I was like, oh, thank God, honey. Thank God, because I was trying to find a way not to, girl. Without
Thanks
screaming
for
like
letting me off the
a bitch.
hook, girl. I appreciate it. She told her friends not to defend her. She basically torpedoed her channel. She had absolutely nothing to say.
She went into
her
hibernation.
Instagram kind of went dark. And she had fuck all to say about the entire thing until January 1st of 2022. Or, what was it? December 31st of 2021. I don't know. All I know is homegirl came back on the day that Betty White passed away. And I was like, now listen, I am mourning here. I don't know if I have the time and patience for this. But anyway, right? So Creepshow Art comes out with this video that basically does nothing but prove that for the past 10 years, Creepshow had been sort of stalking Emily Artful.
Yeah.
You know what? I will be lying. I will be completely lying if I said that when I saw that video, I wasn't hoping against hope that Creepshow Art was going to come with something that either explained that it was a big misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's what, like, I was, because, you know, like, we had, like, a relationship with her. So, like, I wanted to hear her side of her side. I wanted to, like, girl, let's see what you got to say.
Right. You have never met two sides to every story, bitches than us. We are literally willing to hear out every side.
Yeah.
And we wanted to hear out. We knew that the mob had the pitchforks and they was ready to take Shannon down.
Yeah.
But we were like, okay, so maybe we'll watch this video.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe she'll say something that gonna make a little bit of sense. She said not one fucking thing that made any motherfucking sense. I was very upset.
And I was like, oh, girl.
I mean, homie started producing receipts from decades ago that basically corroborated Emily's story that she had. Because she would produce receipts from a video or an internet thing. Y'all remember them internet things like LiveJournal and Zanga, fucking MySpace. Shit that Emily had taken down forever ago. Shannon, why the fuck you still got that?
Came up with them, like,
Here it is, this post from 10 years ago that don't do shit but prove I've been stalking the bitch, like she said.
Yeah, I remember that. I was just like, damn, girl, you... And then, like, people, like, I feel like some people who watched it, like, her friends, like, oh, yeah, post that. I would have been like, girl, maybe you shouldn't.
Maybe don't post that, because it looked like, you remember how she said you was crazy as shit and you was stalking her? You see, when I see that you have that receipt, for me, what it does is corroborates her story.
Like, maybe you should just, like, make a quick little 30-second video to keep your monetization saying more is coming soon or something, honey, and then go back to the drawing board for another 6 months.
Exactly. We're going to rethink this because the shit don't look right.
Yeah.
So here was where it got really sketchy for me. So Miss Emily had to do a rebuttal. And like I said, wasn't no need for it. Shannon had kind of, how the French say, fucked herself. And there was absolutely no
Dug
need.
her grave and buried herself in it single-handedly.
So, but, you know, for Emily, it's personal at this point. You know, it's a personal
she
thing.
wanted to
So
declare
she
her
gotta say what she
name.
gotta
I can
say.
understand that.
I get it. And she basically says, well, you know, at the end of Creepshow Art's at the beginning of Creepshow Art's little video, she said, if you're watching this, it means one of two things. It means that my lawyers have come to an agreement with Emily's lawyers and we've reached a settlement. Or B, I done took her to court and came out on the other side as the victor. Well, Emily done said in the beginning of her video, now listen, whoa, now slow down, little mama. She done produced the letter from the lawyers, right, that Creepshow Art commissioned, hired. And basically this letter says, hey, Miss Emily, how you doing? So you gonna take down all of those videos from our client that you made and everything where you've made some disparaging remarks about her? Or else we gonna proceed with the court functions. We gonna see you at the court party. You know what I'm saying?
And she said, let's go.
So Emily was just like, try me, ho.
Okay, we can go.
Try me.
We
Emily
can do a
apparently,
twerk off, honey. Let's do it. Let's go.
Emily done looked up the lawyers, right? And apparently, and this is what did it for me. Apparently, there are like just a sleaze bag legal company who basically goes after folks on behalf of their clients and bullies them into deleting negative reviews about their company and things of that nature. And I guess when Miss Emily saw that, and she was like, "Oh, I know exactly what you hoes is about.
It's not shit.
Not shit. So let's just go."
Yeah.
What a sad day. You know what I'm saying? Like how?
I mean, I feel like it's gonna cost. Like, if they do go to court, it's gonna be a lot of money.
I don't think they're going to go to court because I think, as Emily stated in her video, it seems as if this is just a really desperate attempt on Shannon's part,
She's been making it lie,
to get Emily to, A, recant what she said, because in the letter, Emily said, the terms of this deal are you take the videos down and never speak of this letter and never speak of the issue again. So if she would have agreed to do that, then Shannon could post her little video, talk all the shit that she wanted, and Emily couldn't say a damn thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I will tell you, it's a genius plan. But here's the thing. You can't be fucking with people who don't have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? You can't, because Emily, I mean, she been doing her thing or whatever, but she seems like she's just tired of the bullshit. She don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah,
and she ain't got too much to lose from the situation. So she's just like, bitch, try me,
go.
ho.
Let's go.
It's gonna cost you more money to sue me than you gonna get from me. So let's do it. And you know that letter the people in that letter wasn't really talking about shit, because if they was talking about shit, Emily would have a subpoena for court, right?
Yeah.
And we know
that. Yeah, that's true, honey. Emily, she came out as the victor. Like, I feel like, months and months ago. But with her last video, like, yeah, girl.
Now, I will say a point where I'm a little disappointed. Because, the evidence here is still circumstantial. You know what I'm saying? We got a few IP address. We don't really have no smoking gun, except for Shannon shooting herself in the foot and piling more evidence against her. So there ain't no smoking gun. What would have did it for me would have been being able to post the name of her lawyer. Put her lawyer's name out there. Put her attorney's name out there so we can Google them too. I just want to be able to look myself and be like, well,
she's right.
She's right.
Maybe she's like, well, I mean, I don't want to put any more.
Well, she don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying?
She's like, I don't want. Because they're just doing their job, honey. They may be sleaze bags, honey, but they're just doing their job.
Shit. I think, at the end of the day, if you poke the bear like that, then they're actually going to try to come after you, right? And a legal company, they got the coin, they got the time, they got the dime. You ruin their reputation, they're going to go after you, if nothing else, just to prove that what you said was shit.
Yeah.
Then they get to tout that around as one of their selling points of why
you put it on their damn website, honey.
They get to put that on their resume. You know what I'm saying? That's another win for them. Who the hell wants to do that? Nobody.
Yeah.
So I think she did the smartest thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, never share everything, right?
Yeah,
never
felt
give
like,
it
honey,
all
I'm
out
holding
there.
these cards to my chest, honey, just in case, honey. But I'll play them. Don't
it
get
is
me
all
wrong.
very unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely.
The entire thing is fucked up and unfortunate. But I will say this, I gotta be honest. Being as respectful as I possibly can, wrap this shit up. Wrap it up, baby. We get it.
I mean,
we
girl,
believe
you. She's a victor.
You came, you saw it,
and you
did what you did what needed to be done. Now,
you did the damn thing, honey.
Creepshow, baby, I don't know what you're gonna do. I really don't. I really don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, it doesn't seem like you have any friends left, any allies.
And except for Tripster, they ended on very good terms.
She and Tipster ended on very good terms. I hear this is dripping sarcasm.
Yeah.
You have to put it out there. Because,
you definitely do sometimes.
If you don't, then it'll be like, oh, well, tea time.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, honey.
Like, what do I do? I don't think she has maintained any relationships through this entire thing. I would like to make an interesting point. Just something that I heard in passing when I was listening. Something that I don't think anyone else has pointed out so far. We've watched a couple videos on this, and it's not a smoking gun, but I just think it is very interesting. You know, for several years, whenever Creepshow was sort of questioned or put in a certain position about their financial status and like how much her YouTube career helps her or has catapulted her from poverty or X, Y, and Z, her response would always be that she has a primary job and YouTube actually helps very little. Which for most creators is actually the truth, right? But in the letter that her legal team sent to Emily Artful, they cited that, you know, because of Emily's action, she had to abandon her channel, which was her primary source of income.
Well, honey.
So which one is it?
Oh, honey. Miss Shannon telling the truth. I mean, it's seeming like she tells more lies than truths, honey. From this whole experience, based on that.
I just want to, for the record, can we get a statement? We're just confused.
Oh, honey. Can you imagine what that statement would entail?
You know,
fuck off.
I will tell you what. Creepshow over the course of this has gone from being like the benevolent, fun-loving, on the right side of the issues, sort of social justice warrior creator, to being kind of pissy, which a part of me always likes to give the benefit of the doubt, because after it takes a sociopath to be under the amount of pressure that people get placed under in these situations, and to be able to just be coy and calm and cool and, you know, all of the things that most people perceive as indicators that you're innocent, right? Like when you're cool, calm, and collected, you don't get too emotional, you appear to be very transparent. We perceive that as the person being innocent, when really it's just like, check the crawl spaces. There's probably bodies in the basement, because most of us, when we're falsely accused, we do get angry, right? We're just like, no, fuck you. I never fucking did that. You can go to hell, blah, 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 blah. That is like a natural reaction. So when people say, well, if you didn't do it, why are you so mad? That is like so counterintuitive to how emotions work. If you falsely accuse most people, they get mad.
This is something ridiculous. I'm just like, oh, honey, I didn't do that.
Right?
Anyways.
So the fact that I don't feel like the fact that, you know, Shannon or Creepshow being angry in response to this, I don't that is necessarily an indication of guilt.
I think the guilt lies in that 2-hour video.
I think everything else is how we determine that there is a high probability that homegirl, I don't know if we need like a psych eval or maybe, you know, every once and again, the meds got to be cycled. You know what I'm saying? You can't just, you got to cycle them in. I know this. So I don't know if it's something we're taking or something we need to be taking.
Honey.
But everything is not adding up.
It hasn't ever since the locale stuff came out, honey. It hasn't been adding up.
It hasn't been great.
But I do hope that she does like get some help, and I hope that she if she does like have something to fall back on, because I don't think the YouTube is gonna work out anymore.
No.
Like I really hope that she does. Like I really hope that she gets the help and weave out all the toxic people in her life and like work on herself. That's what I hope for her, because
that's
honey,
a word.
Things ain't looking good for you.
That's
honey.
a word. So Angels, Mocha, do you guys think that she will ever carve space in her life to make amends and proper restitution to all of the people that she wronged in this situation, including her close friends, Emily, her audience? Mocha, what do you think? Do you think she'll do that?
I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't, like, if I knew her, like, more personally, I could give more of an opinion. Like, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope she does. But I don't know. Like, based on all of her actions that have been coming, I don't think so. I think she's just going to move on, go about her life, and still play innocence.
Yeah. You know, there's something about a con person, you know. When the con is up, they really don't ever apologize for it or take any true accountability. Like,
hey, Jeffree Star.
The jig is up and they sort of just move on to the next mark. You know what I'm saying? I think that if a good indicator that she has sort of made some bit of progress would be accountability for her behaviors, for her actions. I don't know if that will ever happen. I think it would be a good place to start.
Yeah.
But then the question comes into play, you know, sometimes a person can lie for so long that they actually end up convincing themselves that they're telling the truth. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. And so a person who believes that they are and have told the truth may not ever come around to realizing that they have manipulated and connived, lied, schemed a little bit. They actually have been stalking someone for the past 10 years.
Very, very long time.
And they aren't the victim.
Yeah.
Is there room in your heart for forgiveness, Mocha? I mean, it's not. I mean, we're not close to the situation, but let's empathize. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of her audience or her truth, because she had, you know, our relationship with Creepshow Art was superficial. She was supportive, so we felt endeared to her in some way, shape, or form, right? But it was mostly superficial and surface level. She definitely has had creators that she was closer to. Tipster, Wallace, right? Wallace thought they were good friends. He said that, you know, or she said that D'Angelo was going to be, you know, at the wedding and this, that, and the other.
D'Angelo Wallace.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I don't know who Wallace is. But
let's say for a second that we are close to her the way that she was close to them. Is there forgiveness for Shannon?
I don't know.
What would you need to see?
Improvements. Truths.
You know, so for me, if I'm asking myself the same question, I'm going to need some accountability and an explanation. And that doesn't mean, that's just on the road to forgiveness. Because, see, I can forgive you, but have every intention of never engaging with you again.
Yeah, I've forgiven people in my past that, like,
that you just never want to fucking talk to.
I don't want to fuck with you anymore.
Exactly.
I forgive you, whatever. But
exactly.
Like, I'm not.
Forgiveness is for the forgiver.
Yeah.
Angels, we're gonna leave you out on that particular question. What do you guys think? What do you say? Is there forgiveness? Is there a road to redemption if you are, maybe you're watching this and you are one of her tried and true watchers and supporters. If not, put yourself in the shoes of creators who actually like fucked with her heavily. Mm-hmm. Do you see a redemption arc? Not boo to Shannon, but boo to the redemption arc.
It's overused.
It's God. Give them a term and they will run it into the ground. Won't they? They will just like a... Anyway. Let us know in the comments below. Let a hoe know.
In the comments down below. I almost said... Never mind.
Mocha, how do we want to end this video, my dear?
Check out the description box, honey. We have links. We have our social handles, names or whatever, honey. Check them out. And I'm going to remind y'all this a few more times. But on March 1st, I have a short story coming out, an anthology called Slash Her. I want y'all to check it out, y'all.
You're going to put the links down below whenever it comes out?
Okay. Yes.
All right. Y'all know, buy her book so we can pay our rent.
Yeah, honey.
Anyway, we love you guys so much, angels. Thank you for hanging out with us. Get in those comments. Let us know what you think. And until next time, keep sipping.
You know, our Instagrams are almost like our videos, except for they don't talk. Some would consider that an upgrade. Either way, they're not going to follow themselves, so pop on over and give us some love.